Hello, lovely people. Good morning from my side. It's quite early morning here. So, farms, I decided to go live now because of my schedules. As many of you might not know already that we have a new baby in this channel. So we have a new baby. That is the reason why for quite some time I have not uploaded new video on my channel. But I've been getting a lot of questions about fondant. The fondant video I uploaded 7 months ago. A lot of questions keep coming up, and I thought of, well, how do I answer these questions? Because sometimes just your text messaging might not answer the questions. So I decided, hi, Krista Zone, you're welcome. Oh, Mora, you're not sleeping yet. Welcome. You're welcome to my live streaming. So thank you for the like. So I decided to come online on live today to answer some of those questions. I know a lot of you really will be waiting. I know a lot of you will be waiting for this video, and honestly, I'm super excited to be here to share with you guys on these questions and all you need to know. Basically, not all, because we might not know everything, but the questions I have received so far, I will do my best to answer them. Okay, to start with, one of the most questions I have received so far about this fondant in my channel is fondant, Trelose powder and CMC, are they both the same? These are the most questions I have received so far. And yes, the both of them, they do same work. They don't bear same name, but they do same work. Another thing you should consider is they are of different brands. First, when I started using CMC, because where I learned my fondant making, I was introduced to CMC. I never knew what Trelose powder was all about. So I'm going to start with this now. I never knew what Trelose powder was all about. So I only knew about fondant. I only knew about CMC. Pardon my mistakes. Only knew about CMC. So I relocated because I never learned. I never stayed so long in my learning center. I only stayed for 1 month. Okay, I basically stayed 1 month, so I relocated to where I base right now. I decided to try out that same recipe I got from my teacher, and with CMC, it didn't work out for me. It did not work out at all. So when I got to the cake store, I asked them, please, this CMC is not working out for me. Do you have any other better thing to give to me that will work perfectly? Oh, I don't know. I just saw a question now. Let me see. I'm coming. MC Fashion, you say, please, could you turn your phone? Just bending my head to be able to see you properly. Okay. Let me see if it will work out. Is it okay now? Please tell me it's fine now. I don't know if this live streaming is even bright. Okay, thank you so much. It's not bright, right? Okay. So, let's continue. So that's so I got to the cake store. I asked them, please, I need a better, is there any better brand of CMC? I need it. So they said no, they don't have a better brand of CMC. I just threw one of the container off. I would show you the CMC. They said no, they don't have a better brand. Okay, now they gave me this Trelose powder. This was the Trelose powder they gave to me. Okay. So this was the Trelose powder they gave to me. And then I said how much. it was quite expensive. And you know, I was just starting my cake business newly at my newly located base. So it was so expensive for me to buy. But then I had to buy it. I had to buy this one. It's small, just 75 gram, and quite expensive. I bought it. And guess what? It worked well for me. Not perfectly well at that moment because I was still learning fondant. But this worked well. It helped my career. It helped me upgraded my fondant making. And as time went on, I still tried that CMC. It didn't work out. It did not. So what am I trying to say? CMC and Trelose powder are same thing. They are made for same purpose, but their brands are different. Thank you guys. I might not really see your support right now, but I really appreciate, okay? I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here for me. I do appreciate. So CMC and Trelose powder, they are the same. They are made for same purpose, but they are not as strong as, how do I say it? Trelose powder is more stronger, if I may say. And I've always asked, is there any other brand of CMC over here? They said no. That same CMC they gave me is what they have. So if in every other country there are different types of CMC, I don't know. I don't know. So this is for people asking me the same question. CMC and Trelose powder, are they the same? Are they the same? I always say yes. They are, of course, they are the same. They are made for same purpose. I can't say no. But I believe that CMC might not really give you what Trelose powder will give you. As time went on, I tried 2 different types of Trelose powder again. I bought them. And guess what? They did not work out well for me. Just as the same as this. This is food deco. This is food deco Trelose powder. So I bought 2 different types of Trelose powder again. It didn't work out well for me. They work out well during the Harmattan season. That is during the December, January season when there is cold, everywhere is freezy. Those Trelose powder, they work well. And they are very good. They are big in volume. They are big in volume and quite cheaper than this. So they worked well. But once it's that humid period when there is heat and all that, this is the best. Those ones doesn't work well. They don't dry my fondant. After making cake with them, they still sweat. So this was the best. And then I found out that even if it is just Trelose powder, it still bears Trelose powder. Brand still matters. So brand still matters. So you should just bear this. If you try out this, it's not working, please try and ask questions in your cake store. Ask more questions if they have a different brand. Please try, okay? And talking about trying, I want to chip in this advice. The fondant recipe I'm using right now is not what I was taught in my learning center, okay? It wasn't. The recipe I'm using right now was what I also learned here on YouTube, and that is what I want to give out as well. I learned it basically here on YouTube, okay? So, but I made little differences. You're welcome, Krista. Thank you so much for supporting. I really appreciate. So, but I made little changes with what I am using right now. But I learned my recipe on YouTube. So, I was given this recipe that when I made use of it, my fondants were not holding. It was not binding at all. But where I learned it, it's working. Though you have to sweat, you have to stress, it's very stressful. Even ordinary gum paste was better than that recipe that we were using in my cake learning center. You understand? Gum paste is better than it. You have to sweat to bind your fondant together, but at the end of it, you still see it works out for them. So when I came over here, I tried to make use of that same recipe. It wasn't working for me. It didn't at all. It didn't work out. I have to come on YouTube. I searched, and I got a recipe. I tried to use it. I tried to use that recipe, and as God may have it, the first time using that recipe was during the Xmas period. Okay, so when I made use of the recipe, that Xmas period, it's what helped me, because the Xmas period, in fact, if you want to learn fondant, please try that period of time, that cold times and season, that December, January, February. Please start learning your fondant at that moment. It will help you a lot, because at that moment every mistake you make with fondant doesn't show so much. The weather dries it up for you, it holds it very well for you. You will still see your faults, but not much. People who are not into the cake making might not really see that your fault, but you alone know that this fondant is not that strong, is not firm, but it will not sweat. The weather at that moment will not let it sweat. So that was my second cake. Sorry, that was the second cake I made by myself, and with the new recipe I got from YouTube. So it was a bit okay, but it was saggy. It was so light and saggy, and it was just a pure white fondant. Yeah, so it worked well. It was okay, but I knew it was saggy. It wasn't good. It wasn't that fine. Okay, so this is another advice that you should take when learning your fondant. Please go by that period of time, December, January, February, when everywhere is freezy and cold. Is very, very important. Okay, it will help you a lot. So another question I got from recently. I got question just this evening. Someone said, what is that? I have forgotten your name, and I don't have a different phone to check on your name right now. Someone said, please, what is Trelose powder and what is it used for? This is Trelose powder. I have every materials you need for your fondant. This is Trelose powder. This is your liquid glucose. They are different. This is just what we have in my country, in the country I base now. I base in India, so this is what we have here. This is liquid glucose. There are different types of liquid glucose anyway. Like I have used like 6 different types of glucose, different company. I have used like 6 already or more than. So this right now, this is what I like, because it is not hard. Glucose are not of different. There's no differences, but I like it because it is well wide and very open, so easy for me to scoop, because glucose can be so sticky, so you need something that will be easy for you to scoop out. So this is liquid glucose. This is your Trelose powder. Wherever you base, there will be a different Trelose powder, a different brand and company. Yeah. And this is your gelatin. Gelatin just look slightly like a brown sugar that is grinded. Thank you so much, Krista. Oh, I will talk more about it. So this is like a sugar that is being grinded. Okay. So the Trelose powder, for the person that asked me question this night, Trelose powder is used to bind your fondant. It helps you to bind, not only to bind together. It helps you to get thick, and it helps you to stretch. Without your Trelose powder, your fondant will not stretch. And someone also asked me a question saying that why is it that the fondant is breaking? She said, I don't know if she or he, and I can't get the name right now. The person said that his or her fondant is breaking out. Why is it happening that way? After making the fondant, is just breaking apart. Let me get to that question. I have a fondant here I've already made some days back. So I don't really know how the fondant is breaking apart, but I think I get a clue of what the person is saying. Hold on, let me show you this. Okay, so this is a fondant I made some days back. When you make your fondant, you keep it. This is what you get the next day. Okay, this is how it would basically look. And when you open it, if you open your fondant, I don't know how to place my, when you keep your fondant, this is how it's going to look. It's going to look shattered. Are you seeing my fondant? It's not going to look stretchy. This is how my fondants look after making them. This is how it looks. It looks shattered. It's not going to be together. You are the one to keep massaging this fondant. You have to massage it. You have to massage it. Even put your baking shortening. If you are in a heat season, please don't put much of your baking shortening. So you have to massage this fondant. Let me keep my hands off my face and talk while I'm massaging it. Okay, I'm massaging just little piece of it in my hands. After massaging it, I will stretch it so that you see. So this person asking me this question now, I don't know if this is your problem. Maybe your fondant, you're not massaging it well enough. I'm only going to massage this very well so fast because it's just a little piece of fondant. But if I'm to massage like 1 kg of fondant, it's not easy. Massaging fondant is not easy. It takes a lot of patience. And sometimes it gets drier, it gets more dry. I was even able to break this like this with my hands, with my bare hands. I came with a knife, yeah. I came with a knife. Some fondant, when you make it, especially when you have over add your Trelose powder, you can't just break it off with your bare hands. You need a knife to slice it piece by piece. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Sometimes you think your fondant is spoiled. It's not spoiled. What you need is thorough massage, and you need to slice once it is so hard that you can't even break it, you can't even massage it. What you need is use a knife to grater it piece by piece. You grater your fondant piece by piece, and then you start massaging. Look at this fondant now. Look at it. It's now very stretchy. I've not even massaged this so well. So that is it. It comes piece by piece after making. If you're using my recipe, this is what happens the next day after making your fondant. It comes in piece. So you have to massage to get that stretchy fondant you need. Fine. Then another thing that might be causing your fondant to crumble into piece is when you might have used the wrong Trelose powder or CMC. That is what also results to your fondant crumbling. And when that is your problem, I doubt if your fondant can come together. Okay, be patient and massage your fondant. In fact, give yourself an hour. Okay, just be sure that why I said 1 hour is for you to be quite sure that yes, Trelose powder or CMC is not the problem. It's not the reason why your fondant is crumbling. That it can't come together. It's not drawing. It's not elastic. So give yourself time. Be patient. Massage your fondant. Okay. And after all the time you've given to that fondant to be massaged and it's not coming together, it's not working, then just know it that you're using the wrong CMC or you're using the wrong Trelose powder. Okay. Then you quit. You have to quit it and then look for a better one. Ask your cake store. They will get you a better one. Thank you. I hope I have been able to answer this crumbling of fondant question. Then someone asked me, the person said, why is it that some people still omit what is it called, gelatin? Some people still delete gelatin from their fondant, and yet their fondant still sweat after making it or using it to decorate cake. Then I would answer this question. First, I will say, taking off what is it called? Taking off gelatin from your recipe will not stop your fondant from sweating. Okay, it will not stop it from sweating. If you don't know how to use it rightly and your right measurement, it doesn't stop anything. Basically, I have been going through sweating cake and sweating fondant after decorating for a long time. This is a very great tip I want to give you, give out to you guys. Okay, I've been having a very long time stress with sweating cake and sweating fondant after cake decorating. Do you know the mistake I have been making? I will bake a cake 3 days to the day of delivery or 2 days to the day of delivery. I'll wrap it up and place in the fridge. Do you know that the day I will decorate it, I don't bring it out on time? The day I will decorate it, I will just bring out my cake from the fridge, straight from the fridge. I will crumb coat it immediately and then place back in the fridge. Then massage my fondant, bring it out and cover it immediately. And my cake will start sweating. I was like, what am I doing wrong? What is this? What is it? Where am I going wrong? I kept doing it. Then at a time, and I told myself, I don't know what, I really don't know what really happened that day. I just look at the fridge. I left the fridge a little bit open. I think that was what drew my attention. I left the fridge a little bit open and I came back. I mistakenly left the fridge open. It isn't even frozen. It's not even, I didn't put it in freezer. Yeah, thank you, Krista. Exactly. That was the mistake I had been making. Thank you. It's not even freezer, but it's just ordinary fridge. When I left the fridge open, I came back. I saw that it was dripping little water. You know, the room temperature have hit into the fridge. That was when I caught back my attention. I was like, this is exactly what your cake have been doing. This is just exactly what your cake have been doing. You brought out your cake from the fridge and you kept it outside. You didn't even allow it to shed the water. You covered it immediately with fondant. So it's shedding out the water inside the fondant and your fondant is sweating. This is what is causing it. And secondly, another thing I also stopped doing that helped my fondant to stop sweating was I don't put a lot of butter from coating. I don't put a lot of it before I do. Before I will cover it with a lot of butter icing and then still put it back inside the fridge. There was no time for it to shed the heat, the sweating, sorry, not the heat. There was no time for it to shed the water and everything. So now I have cut out the amount of butter I use. Once I start posting my cake videos now from henceforth, you will see the amount of butter and how I do my crumb coating. It's quite a little bit than the way it was before. I don't put so much amount of butter. I see a lot of people use what is it called, ganache, which is chocolate. Well, then I don't even know how to make ganache dough, but I admire it. But the reason why I don't use it, I so much admire ganache because it helps the fondant to be a shape. But I thought of it, maybe ganache is just one flavor. It's chocolate and it's just one flavor. This would be like your customers eating chocolate cake all the time. So I basically stick to buttercream. That was my reasoning though. So that's why I stick to buttercream and I stick to it to this level, and I'm glad I did because at least those challenges I have overcome them. So for you asking why is the fondant still sweating after deleting out gelatin from your recipe, I think you should check what you're doing wrong. You might be doing something wrong. Okay, please check it. And Trelose powder as well matters. It does matter. Yes, I think ganache should be used depending on the kind of cake. Yes, Krista, that is what I'm saying. Ganache should be used depending on the kind of cake. For me, I feel like using ganache in all of your cake means giving your customers chocolate cake all the time. I don't know. That's my own reasoning. You know, that's my reason. I think using ganache is just like everybody's eating chocolate cake all the time. Your cake is just like chocolate cake all time. So that's why I really didn't want to learn it. But as time goes on, I will definitely learn it. Everybody, we need that knowledge. We need it. So this is for it. Just find out what you're doing wrong and you will definitely get it. So back to my cake, my fondant. Okay. Yeah, I can make the ganache thing. Yes. And as well, I think using the buttercream for your filling is good, and then using the ganache thing at your crumb coating, I think it's better idea. Thank you for that, Crystal Zone. God bless. I really appreciate. Then back to my fondant story. Like I was saying, your fondant, my fondant. When I first got my fondant recipe from YouTube, this was another thing I have to learn on my own. Okay, it wasn't easy learning something on your own from scratch. Nobody taught you. Learning things from YouTube is not that easy. It's not easy at all. So all the patience coming from my viewers, I really understand it. It's not quite easy at all. So when I first learned, and someone asked me this question, he said, why didn't you use Glycerin? She said, is Glycerin not important? Why didn't you use it? Fine. When the person I learned this, I don't even know the channel name anymore. The person I learned that this fondant from, she added glycerin to it. I still have my bottle of glycerin here since 4 years back. I still have it here. She added glycerin to her recipe. So when I got to the market to buy the things, I also added glycerin to my stock. I guess what? I used it. It was so light, it was so thin, and it was still sweating. But when you ask of glycerin in fondant use, they will tell you that glycerin help you to stop sweating during the humid season. I used and I also used. It was still coming out sweating. I paused. I now touched the glycerin. Glycerin is just like, it's like oil-based stuff, just like oil. Then I asked myself, just assume that you are sweating. There is heat, everywhere is hot, and you used an oil-based substance on your skin. Does it help you dry up the sweat, or does it make you sweat more? I told myself it makes you sweat more, and that was how I stopped using glycerin. I didn't use it anymore, and I think my fondant became a bit better. It never stopped giving me tough time and hard times. It became a bit better, so I just stopped glycerin. So what I came to understand in fondant making now is that people teach fondant making depending on where they base, depending on their base and their weather. Bear this in mind. People teach you fondant based on their weather. Some people don't even have that hard weather you're going through. They might not really give you. It's just like sweating fondant, sweating of cake and fondant cakes. Man, it's not easy. I have searched for it even on YouTube. I have not seen anyone that is giving me a good answer about sweating of fondant. You find out that most people that teaches about fondant, they basically base in Western worlds. They don't really know what you're going through. They don't have that sweating. Even if they do, some of them work under AC. They work under AC, even if it is a humid season. Because most of the videos I see, they work under AC. They don't even know what you're going through. They don't understand what you're saying. And for me, that have just little space of kitchen, I don't have time in that. This is okay. I cook this time, and this is my cake studio where I know this is for cake. And there is enough ventilation coming in and going out. I don't have nothing like AC. It's just a little space. I can be cooking. I be designing cake at the same time. You must learn format that works for you. So people teaches you based on where they base. Bear this in mind. Okay. For me, here in India, we have longer hot season than the cold season. Okay. I wouldn't want this video to be much longer than I don't want it to be extremely long. Okay. So in my next video, I don't know if it will be a video or live streaming, I will be teaching you different kinds of 3 different weathers we have in fondant. So you should bear in mind that we have 3 weathers in fondant. Okay. So I will teach you how to manage your fondants in these 3 weathers. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. So I will teach you the 3 different weathers we have in fondant. That will be the next video I'll be either uploading or I will be talking about live streaming. So thank you so much, guys. I don't know if I answered every question that was dropped for me. I really don't know, honestly. I don't know. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Crystal Zone. I really appreciate it, sister. See you next time, okay? Have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Okay, so guys, I really appreciate for all of you that was here with me. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please, if I did not answer your question, still remind me, drop me a question again. If you need to see my fondant making video, please go down to my YouTube channel. You will find it there. If there's anything you don't understand, please do ask me, okay? I will gladly answer you. Alright guys, I think this is it for today. I'll be bringing more, but I don't want the video to be much longer than this, and maybe talking much will also make me forget the things I want to say. So I'll be ending it up here. See you guys in my next video. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye.